Welcome, friends, to my first ever YouTube Rimworld colony. I'm excited to start bringing this content to the platform, and I think you'll all really enjoy the Wasteland playthrough that we are going to start today. Okay, well, here we are. So as you can see, we have a pre-selected starting group, and they're all Brotherhood warriors. But as the story indicated, they all just woke up from a crypto sleep. They don't know where they are, but they do know each other, and they are here together with some necessary supplies to hopefully ensure their survival. So let's go ahead and introduce our colonists. Our first colonist is Ilana Orama, who has the background of a country child and the adulthood of a hearth tender. Ilana was raised up to fear God and love her country. She was a genuine backwoods kid. She always worked hard to earn the respect rather than demanding it. While the others were out hunting and foraging, Ilana would stay at home to cook and take care of the young and sick. As for traits, this colonist is transhumanist, gourmand, neurotic, and bisexual. Has passions in shooting, cooking, planting, crafting, and intellectual, but has also got some decent skills in construction and medical, which will be definitely coming in handy. So let's go ahead and have Ilana Rama equipped the Colt 10mm. Our next colonist is Tova. Tova was an adventurous youth who explored all around her family's large estate, uncovering little natural wonders hidden in nearby catacombs, rivers, and caves. During her teenage years, Tova made numerous enemies, and then adulthood as a bartender, worked as a bartender at a seedy establishment. The job was one part drink mixing, one part diplomacy, and one part head bashing. That's wonderful. The traits are polyamorous, night owl, bisexual, faithful, and tough. Incapable of cleaning. Due to this backstory, actually. Her passions are in melee, cooking, crafting, artistic, and medical. But note, some of these skills are better than others. We also have a high skill level in social, though not a passion for it. Tova's going to be a melee fighter, and we're going to give Tova the starting monosword. Very nice. Okay, next up is Val. This is an incredible character. Val Ferenz. Background of abductee, was abducted at a young age and forced to do menial labor on a pirate ship. Adulthood, medieval sailor. Val explored the oceans on a wooden ship, seeking out plant and animal specimens from exotic places and occasionally fending off pirates. He loved the sea so much he refused to do all but the barest minimum of work on land, except to sell the treasures he collected. He is incapable of skilled labor. Due to his background, he is incapable of skilled labor. Traits-wise, chemical fascination, bloodlust, abrasive, and straight. Double passion for both shooting and melee. Very minor animal skill. A passion with a skill in medical, and a double passion for intellectual. He can equip the Gauss rifle. For now. We might have to do some shifting later, but for now. Next up, we have Pains. Pains with Gains. Animal caretaker. Born on a medieval farm, Pains was tasked with caring for domestic animals. He grew to love them. With time, he learned to tame wild animals. He dreamed of one day meeting a thrumbo and taming it. Hey, maybe we can help you fulfill that dream someday, Pains. Maybe. As adulthood, Paines piloted a small fighter bomber designed specialized in spreading incendiary gel on flammable targets. Wow. Conditioned to love the sight of a target lighting up, he grew to love fire in all its forms: war, cooking, and even for cauterizing wounds in the hospital. That is a very interesting combination. Um, his traits are psychopath, deadshot, bloodlust, and bisexual, incapable of intellectual. Skills with a double passion in shooting. Wow. Decent skill in melee, though no passion. Mining passion, but very low skill. They will learn this quickly. Some skill in planting. Animal passion, probably very useful there. And then a crafting passion with a very low skill. Very good. Okay, so Pains is definitely our shooter, and Pains is actually our dead shot. So we're going to have Pains equip the Bozar. I believe, yes, the Bozar is our long range, sort of like a sniper rifle. A little different. Okay, next up we have MJK. MJK was a coma child turned addiction counsel. A childhood accident put MJK into a coma. She didn't wake until she was in her late teens. Her body never recovered from the years of inactivity, but people tend to take pity on her when they hear her story. Wow. Does lower some skills. Sure, that's fine. Adulthood Addiction Counsel. After recovering from a joy wire addiction, MGK adopted a non-violent way of life and vowed to help others. Traveling between communities, she used medicine, arts, and crafts to aid others who struggled with their own addictions. MJK is a teetotaler, abhors the idea of gaining pleasure from chemicals, is psychically deaf, works on a psychic frequency different from everyone else, just isn't affected by psychic phenomena. Kind and bisexual. Has a skill and passion in shooting, construction. Those are pretty good. Crafting with double passion. Very good. Medical double passion, lower skill, but we can level that up. And a double passion and high skill in social. Very good. MJK will also be a shooter. We're going to go ahead and give MJK the Desert Eagle. And last up, our last colonist is Blue Squid. Blue Squid has a background of a mute with an adulthood of a mathematician. Squid was greatly affected by a traumatic event early in his life. For many years, he refused to speak to people, preferring instead to play with his household's numerous pets. Squid did mathematical research at a university. He spent much of his spare time immersed in shooting simulations, though he was frequently ridiculed by other players for his terrible aim. Oh. So, unfortunately, Squid is not a fighter. Squid is capable of violence, but is really not a fighter. This background, it was never a part of Squid's life. There is, however, a skill and a passion in mining, animals, medical, and intellectual. Probably going to be a researcher. They also are a fast walker, too smart, night owl, and straight. They're going to learn everything, including skills. All these skills, they're going to learn them a lot faster. So medical will level up very quickly. And then night owl. We obviously need to keep night owl in mind. We're going to go ahead and give Squid the plasma rifle. Okay, now here is the real adventure. We are starting in a wasteland. We are starting in a biome that, as you can see, has depleted soil everywhere. Fertility 20%. This is toxic waste. Oof. Walk speed 19%, and I'm guessing that this is going to be very bad for them. So let's see what our map looks like. Oh my. Okay. That's soil right there. That's actual soil. Okay. Destroyed APC, that's fine. Okay, I should mention before we get going too far with this colony that this is in fact a highly modded playthrough. I will be providing the mod list for everyone to review, but definitely let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the mod pack, why I chose it, or you know, anything at all like that. I'll do my best to answer those when I see them. We could avoid this toxic waste if we kind of went more up here. And I think that's the way to do it. We definitely don't want to go over here. I'll honestly probably make a zone that disallows them from going near this reactor hive. There's a few reasons, but for the most part, it's highly toxic. Old nuclear reactors, still deadly toxic to animals and people, infested by giant insects. When activated, it will spawn insects and smaller hives over time, as well as valuable insect jelly. It awoke 0 days ago. So it's awake, it's activated, and we're gonna have to take it out. But I'm concerned about doing that. And I want to be careful, and I want to make sure we have a safe place to recover if we do go and take it out. So I think our best bet is probably to go up here. One of the reasons I don't like this area is we have no growable soil. There's some here. Wow. Really not. Really not. We're just going to need hydroponics as quickly as possible. This biome just is not conducive to growing anything, which is to be expected. Let's be honest, that's to be expected. This wasteland biome is not meant to be a very welcoming home for our colonists. It's hard to say. This does have some appeal, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and set up right over here. We started with steel, wood, some leathers, some medicine, some weapons, obviously. We're also we're beekeepers, and so we started with some beekeeping supplies because that's a part of our culture and our agriculture. We decided that the colony could start with some of those, i.e. I knew that the modded biome wouldn't have beehives. So let's go ahead and just build a temporary structure. So in addition to building a temporary structure, I'm also setting up home and allowed zones to keep the colonists safe from the toxic biome. I think it's really important that we keep them away from that ancient reactor hive, which is what I'm doing in this portion. I'm also keeping them restricted from the toxic waste that's located throughout this biome. I just can't imagine that that's very good for them. Squid and Tova are night owls, so we just have to set them to a night owl schedule. good. Good. Okay. Squid. Perfect. 11 to 18 is what it says. I did 17. So 1 extra, like that. Okay, and then actually I'm gonna shift this up 1. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so first things first, we're going to switch to some manual priorities. For starters, all I want is them working on hauling. So I'm just gonna have that be the focus. Okay, right now, Ilana Rama is going to be the only surgeon. We're going to work on leveling MJK. All these people with passions, with lower skills, we're going to work on leveling them through nursing, hopefully. Pain should not be doing any doctoring. No passion and a low skill. It just doesn't seem worth it. Okay, so basic rearm, refuel. Warden's another really important one to always set up high, so we'll just do that right now. The rest of it, I'm basically going to leave where it is. Maybe increase construction. Okay, and now I'm going to have them haul urgently everything. Squid's building, which is great. Squid's incapable of dumb labor. Squid is not going to haul, so it's a good thing Squid has some skill in building. Let's just double check that they're assigned to construct. They are. They will learn it. They will learn it. They will learn it fast, right? So let's go ahead and let them work on that. We might lose some. We might lose some things along the way. Having a level 5 doing it, but that's okay. Okay, the colonists are now pulling in all the items. All of their starting resources are being hauled into their storage zone. They're building our structure. We're making sure that we have an enclosed space that's safe for everyone to be inside of. Wait, what did Ball just say? We're having a fine afternoon. It's fine. Only moderately affected by toxic buildup. Lovely. Tova's stressed. Okay. Tova's the only one out and about right now. Is that correct? Paints. Go home. India home. We're going to assign everyone to home right now except for Tova, who's on their way home. We're also going to shrink the home zone. People are already being affected by toxic buildup, and they need to get better before they go out. On that note, I'm going to wrap up this first episode of the Lost Brotherhood Zombie Wasteland Rimworld Let's Play. After reviewing the biome and the starting characters, we were able to get a small temporary structure built. The colony will have to work on stone cutting, building power and hydroponics, and taking out the ancient reactor hive that's spewing toxins into the air in this harsh wasteland in episode 2. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube to catch that next episode. Thank you for watching. We'll see you then.